Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and checking us out this week. Don't split the party.
But if you do, make sure it's fun.
Yeah. Now,
we didn't want to split the
back
party.
to what I actually wrote in my notes for this game.
There's notes for this? That's awesome.
Sometimes there's just a couple of bullet points.
This week,
if they
kill
fail the
the
skill
party.
challenge, eaten by plants.
Yes.
Yep.
Rocks fall.
Points
If
3 and
they
4.
fail the skill challenge?
Yeah, when?
Right.
Thank you.
You guys, I just can't count. I seriously can't count on you guys. If I'm ever like, okay, I'll throw a skills challenge. Maybe I'll even lower the difficulty. They'll beat this, and then we'll go from there. And it's like, nope, you guys just like fail it so hard. And it's like anytime that I'm like, okay, if they succeed, then they move on to this. But if they fail, I have this like cool thing that I want to do. Is like, sure enough, it's like, how many successes? It's just like 8 successes in a row. Boom, we're out of there. Not even a problem.
Yep. The times that you try to give us really tough challenges and eat our lunch, we're just like, oh, nat 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that though the curse of the DM? Because poor Brad, Dr. Will, worked for weeks and months on this campaign that people will eventually hear. And he, there's this giant thing that's about to get us, and we have to get past this giant thing to grab the device. And one of the players is just like, oh no, I'm just going to use this power that I have, and bloops the entire encounter out of existence.
Yep.
Oh.
And not once, but multiple times. Where it's just like, oh no, I'm going to stand here and take all the damage and win the combat. Just those kind of things. I'm sure that is something that is just not specific to this party or this playing group or to your GM style. I think it's literally the curse of the GM, right?
No, and honestly, 4th edition cuts down on that a lot.
Oh, really?
Because it breaks up utility spells into rituals, right? So, if you want to move the earth, then you have to sit down and cast a ritual that allows you to like move stuff out of the way. Whereas in like your 3rd editions and 5th editions, you can just do it in the middle of a fight. I want to say, that sort of thing. Like just the other day, a friend of mine was telling me that they had. It's like, by the way, from what I've heard of 5th edition, if you have a druid in your party, you have to be prepared for them to entirely circumvent things constantly, because they use like shape water or something to climb to the 2nd story of a tower, thus like negating the whole 1st story worth of challenges.
Wow.
It's like, well, I can make exactly these many solid cubic like cubes of water that they would form a staircase, and we can come in through the window. It's like, and the game master just like takes like the first 4 pages of their notebook and like rips them out, throws them in the trash. They're like, okay, you find yourself on the other side of what is clearly a trap meant to stop you at the staircase.
Yeah, I mean, we did that pretty recently in a game that I was playing with Pathfinder, like with also with a druid. And it was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna like fly up in the back, and like then I'll like use shape stone to like get us a way in, and like it's like, well, that whole courtyard encounter that was supposed to be the first fight is not gonna happen now, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to get super philosophical about it, but there's kind of this thing with definitely 3rd edition, and I think previous editions as well, that there's this idea that's like D&D is about exploration. So we're going to give you all of these powers that make exploration easier, but that's not how you encourage it. Like that's not what's fun about exploration.
Yeah.
If you can just snap your fingers and make a bridge across a chasm, you didn't explore anything. If you can grab one berry and feed your entire party, you didn't explore anything. Like a lot of spells, especially for druids, are really good at circumventing things that are actually interesting and exciting, or preventing scenes that would be interesting and exciting.
Right.
Well, let's get to something interesting and exciting. This game.
Yeah.
That's right. No druids present.
But I see Rob writing one up right now going,
Well, again,
Druid's my
4th
favorite
edition
class.
druids are kind of a different deal, but
Yeah.
Rob has played a druid before.
Yeah, I'm like
Yeah.
43% druid.
And Rodrigo didn't
Or at
let me
least-
play him again.
I was until you unceremoniously murdered me and controlled my brain, and I hate you forever. But I'm not bitter.
Oh, that's good.
Sounded a little like you were bitter.
No, I'm not bitter. I'm good.
Okay, so last time
On critical
Oh,
hit.
critical hit!
the party got split. So Albrecht and Seven Hells Wise
Dug a tunnel.
made their way to the surface, and the remainder of the party finally managed to track or to find their trail. Seven Owls and Albrecht also found their way to an abandoned camp that, judging from the molten spider shells, probably was a drow camp.
I think this place is abandoned,
Okay.
but
Well,
we need to be a little careful just in case.
agreed.
Um,
But hey, new base camp, and at least until we find the
yeah, definitely.
rest of the crew.
I'm going to open up one of these crates.
Okay. Yes. I'll also check crates.
Baby spiders.
Spider eggs.
Yes.
Yeah, but they're freeze dried, so you have to
Tasty.
get a water dropper there to make your
They
spiders.
crawl, going down.
Yep.
Teach them tricks.
So what Seven Owls Wise does find is a couple of metal rods, which kind of appear to be sort of like torch settings, and then a couple of bottles, which have this sort of reddish, like dark brown, black oil in them, with a rag stuffed inside.
Ah, some little bombs.
Probably not.
Oh,
I mean, you probably could use them as bombs.
I'll pull the rags out and
Potions?
take a sniff.
Torches.
Yep, torches. Like you're
Little-
supposed to take out that
little
rag that's been
motives.
soaked, put it in the torch stand, and light it.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. What'd you find, Albrecht?
You find some supplies.
Just some supplies.
Probably need those. Probably take what we need, do you think?
Sure.
We fortunately don't have any spells, so there's no way we can contact the rest of the party, and I don't think now's a good time to start shouting.
No.
Anything else that we might uncover in the camp? We're digging around and...
While Seven Owls Wise is looking through crates, a drow warrior comes out from around one of the crates.
Whoops.
Hello.
Clock him on the head.
He's saying hello to you, Zanam.
Hello. We found you.
Yes, you did.
Who's that?
It's just Zimmerman.
Oh, hey,
Zanam.
you got the rest of
Phew.
them?
I
We
don't
were
know.
really worried you'd been eaten by plants.
Yeah, they
only
tried their
a little.
best.
They were eaten by plants. They just weren't digested by the plants.
Yes, I suppose that's true. All right. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, drow camp, by the way.
Oh, great.
They've got some big old spiders that they're riding. And
Is
maybe
the husk
larger.
still here?
Oh, yeah.
Rodrigo, can I see the husk?
Sure.
What type of spider is it?
It is a modified hunter-killer spider.
Okay.
So they're probably not riding them. These are probably perimeter guards.
Yeah. These are guards. They're not riding them. They're not big enough to ride.
Ah, so these are not the famous Lipizzanner spiders.
No, but we may want to keep our eye out for beacon spiders.
Okay.
What are those?
Beacon spiders are designed for surveillance, essentially.
Oh.
The drow use them to monitor and keep tabs on things. If there are any around, theoretically, people can see what they see.
Yeah, but So these spiders are there to probably fight off the outside.
Well, this is a husk. This is one that outgrew its.
Yes, I understand that, but I'm saying, but these spiders would be the ones that would be not looking out for us, but looking out for what's out there.
Hey, are beacon spiders like bright colored and like reproduce like crazy?
Those are marker spiders, the ones that are constantly just everywhere and larger and larger and larger, and then they take over entire areas.
Yes, they're super awful.
Yes, they are, but they're incredibly useful.
Yeah, what are they for? Just to annoy people?
No, they're
The name marker suggests
what they're
that they
for
tag things.
is basically they use them to tag things, and generally drow just catch up to whatever they tag because they keep getting bigger and they keep glowing. It's like you've never heard of anybody getting away from something that's been tagged. So theoretically, those spiders just continue growing and reproducing, hoping that eventually, the drow will find them. So it's it's hard to think of a good example other than just it's like putting a tracker on someone, and 20 years later the tracker's still going, just like beep beep beep, but there's nothing to receive it, except this tracker is alive and makes more little trackers.
And once you have one, you'll always have more. Sometimes you'll be overwhelmed. It'll be easy to catch someone because they're eaten by the spiders.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, we ran afoul of some troops out of Shalai, and they tossed a bunch of those marker spiders at us, and then we went back to our base, and then they just infested it.
Wait. You were struck with a tracker spider, and you survived.
Yeah, I mean, we just managed to kill all the big ones.
Who were you traveling with?
Oh, my Aurum and Sakar.
You've spoken of them, but now I want to meet them.
Well, I mean, I'd like to find them too. So here's hoping that they're not all dead. I mean, I guess they're not dead because Asmodeus took great pains to try to keep them from not being dead, but hopefully they're, findable.
We'll find Master
Asmodeus.
If he hasn't saved himself already.
I'm wondering if we shouldn't also find a place to strike camp, since we did not get nearly as far as we'd hoped today, and I'm not sure where it's going to be safe.
I mean, I guess if the drow thought this place was safe, it is probably relatively safe from the plants, so we could just stay here for the night.
Does it look like it's entirely abandoned, Rodrigo? It's just an old camp that they've left, or does it look like something they might be returning to?
It does look abandoned.
I'm kind of worried those leaving behind the stands for the torches as if they might return.
I mean, they didn't leave any tents or anything behind. No supplies besides these few torches and whatever Albrecht found.
Just some random supplies, mostly.
And it does seem to be clear of the natural predators.
Well,
so far.
Moltings, I mean.
Well, those are harmless.
Yep.
Sometimes they'll actually scare away smaller creatures, assuming that the hunter is still actually here. I'm wondering if it might not be as safe as anywhere else to strike camp right here.
Yeah, that's what I suggested. Thanks, though.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, I said if the drow thought it was safe enough, then maybe we should just stay here.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking, but I also thought we'd be looking for you guys a bit longer. But, yeah.
You left a pretty good trail once we got underground.
Do what I can.
Yeah, sorry. We were trying to dig for you first and then went to a whole underground thing and followed a river and encountered some disgusting looking snakes. So it's been a while. But glad you're relatively safe.
Yes. Glad I didn't go looking for you.
Yeah, it felt like a week since we've seen you.
We also confirmed that the fauna are just as twisted as the flora. Was it like this when you were here before?
Oh, no. I mean, we didn't get too involved with local wildlife, but this is, we also didn't get attacked by plants. I mean, Lilaron said that everything had been twisted and was even more predatory and aggressive than it normally was. So I'm I don't know, maybe it's the Dark Pillar, maybe it's some change to Great Tiger. Who knows?
That would be my worry.
It's not good.
Camp montage.
All right, you guys set up camp?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yarp.
All right, you guys set up the camp. It's not hard because it's already been cleared of stuff, and you guys aren't actually carrying that much. So you guys could set up your bedrolls and watches.
Yeah, definitely. I'll take first watch.
I can take second.
And I'll take the third watch. Oh, by the way, here's some torches that we can light.
Oh, thanks.
Third watch is going to be probably pretty dark.
Mm.
You might want to... I mean, I guess it's going to be also
double up
go
on
into
those
early
torches.
morning, but you might want people with dark vision to take the watches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would say
I can take third watch.
Dalin will do the whole Eladrin thing and be part of all the watches.
Well, at least 2 of them. Yeah.
Then I will sleep.
Probably for the best. You were nearly eaten.
Oh yeah, we found some plants that got drunk off your booze. It was pretty funny. They had the hiccups.
Well, I hope they don't think that every time they try to eat me, they're going to get my drink.
We could just try and avoid any further times of trying to eat you.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's probably a safe bet.
I look around and say, good luck with that.
Everyone still got their gourds?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Yarp.
And we'll do some sleep montages, Rodrigo.
Okay. Who had first watch?
I did.
Roll me a perception check.
Oh, boy. That's a bad one,
right.
folks.
Yes.
Okay.
Man, I hope nothing happens.
Well, something definitely happens.
I was more tired than I thought after all that tunneling.
Yeah. So Dalin is sitting there, perfectly aware while he's in trance, and he just hears this like loud noise that sounds like an animal growling. And then he realizes that yes, Albrecht has fallen asleep. He's just kind of sitting there with like the head of his hammer on the ground, like leaning on the shaft, just like with his like hands, like his chin on his hand, like.
Get up and go poke him.
Okay.
Hey, Albrecht.
There it goes there.
You fell asleep, buddy.
Oh, crud. Sorry. Okay, I'll try to stay up.
Yeah. You guys realize that little Sparkle's bedroll, well, with her in it, is coiled up in a plant and is being dragged into the woods.
No!
Oh no!
Smash it!
Wow.
All right, yeah, you guys managed to get a handle on that.
Ah!
Sorry about
The
that.
rest of us?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. I am no longer trancing either, and I leap up to do something.
Why am I covered in a plant?
Someone fell asleep.
It snuck in.
Okay.
Did we all hear
Alright.
the animal growl, or just Dalin?
The
Just
animal growl
Dalin.
was just Dalin, was just him snoring, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Ugh, gross. Pull plant bits off my bedroll.
Yep.
Perhaps we should double up on our watches.
I mean,
Good call.
I am.
Well, as am I.
Did Drow do the whole trance thing too?
Maybe I pretend to sleep because I'm super paranoid and I want them to think that I'm asleep when I'm actually fully awake and meditating.
Yeah, that's fine, but
That's-
Dalin has
that's
enough of a base of like
Okay,
elven history to know that drow don't sleep.
okay, fine. I'm trying to be
Yeah, I was-
secretive and it's all for naught.
I was taught
I mean,
by Master
that's
Orm. I
fine.
definitely know
Like-
my history.
If you guys want to write this into the backstory that Zanam pretended to sleep for a solid week before he realized that Dalin wasn't buying it.
Or, yeah, until
That
Dalin
is-
became
And,
part of
like
our
Dalin
group.
literally just didn't say anything. You know, I was
Because
like,
it
all
would
right,
be
it's
rude.
fine.
And finally, Zadam was like, "Oh, that was some good sleep." And Dalin's like, "You don't sleep." And that was a wonderful moment that happened when we were in one of our previous adventures.
Definitely exactly why Dawn even mentioned anything is because you said you had a great night's sleep. But Trout don't sleep.
It happened during the epic adventure, The Dark Monk of the Misty Fields. It was actually when Seven Owls bonded with Pumpkin of Calamitous Future.
Who's taking second watch?
Dalin and I, apparently.
Yeah.
All right.
Did we get enough of our trance already?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well,
we're still aware.
Back to sleep.
Okay. So let me get perception checks from Dalin and Zanam.
Ha!
No! Wow.
You son of a...
Exactly the same roll, but I got a better modifier. Yes! You don't know how rarely that happens for me, Rob.
Because normal.
All right. This time, you guys spot the plants before they actually break the camp perimeter.
I'll just shoot cold at them.
Okay.
No. Go away.
I'll just shoot sword at them.
Yeah, you have all your hearts, so you can do it.
Exactly.
However, the commotion does wake everyone up.
We are not going to get a good night's rest.
Nope.
And I think we know why this is an abandoned camp now.
Apparently.
Who knows if it was even abandoned?
It's time to force march it, or...
Well, it's the middle of the night right now.
Yeah.
How much rest have we actually gotten so far?
Not very much, maybe a couple hours. Basically, if this continues, those of you that only sleep 4 hours will probably get exactly 4 hours of sleep, so you'll be set. Everybody else is going to basically not.
Oh.
I know we're leery of alerting our presence, but maybe we should actually make a fire.
Yeah, that's a reasonable idea. Try to keep them. Hopefully that'll dissuade them. And then we can actually get some rest.
You have those oily torches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the drow use those for that purpose. So why don't we try that?
Yep.
Set them around the perimeter.
So yeah, you stick the cloth. You take the cloth out of the bottle. You stick the cloth in the holder. You light it on fire, and a burst of black fire shoots out, and then is just kind of a big, healthy, completely dark torch. Basically, the fire is black. It doesn't cast any light. But
that's a pretty clever innovation. Yeah. Just using it to ward off the plants.
Yeah, it's also not very hot.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, sure enough, if you as you go to the border of the camp to set the torch, you can see that some plants are like retreating away from it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Cool.
I know what these are called, don't I?
Yeah, they're dark fire torches.
Oh, those are nifty.
Yeah, that's useful. All right, let's see if we can finally get some sleep now.
Do we expect those might be reusable once the night is over, or do you think it's going to burn out all of the...
You probably got a good solid, we'll say 8 hours out of each, especially because if you don't throw out the bottle, there's going to be a little bit of oil left over that you can then use to either soak something else or re-soak the rags.
So if we've got 4 hours left of our regular expected sleep, we may still have half a torch each left.
Yes, although now that you have the torches and the plants are keeping their distance, you might also want to consider just trying to let everyone have a 6 hour sleep. Which would then,
as opposed to using watches.
Yeah, which would then leave you at 2 and 2. No, again, Zanam and Dalin can still keep watch.
Yeah.
But essentially have everybody extend the last shift to a 6 hour sleep thing so that everybody can actually get enough sleep.
Yeah,
that is an excellent idea that Zanam just had.
Yep.
And he will say it out loud.
Okay.
I totally had that idea.
Works for me.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. So the party sleeps. into the early morning. You are not attacked by plants, although they do edge close.
Fun.
Yep, there you guys are. It's morning. What do you guys do?
Pack what we can and try to get our bearings. And I mean, is this camp on the map?
That camp is on the map.
Okay, then we would get our bearings and try to move on
towards where we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Are we far off of the expected path that Lurlon had suggested?
Yeah, you guys did wander pretty far away, but you can either walk back to the path or try to cut across it. It's a question of, do you want to save time or do you want to risk going through someplace dangerous?
Is it any more dangerous to go back across to where the path is than it would be to...
No, it's probably not. It's probably not more dangerous, especially since you guys know about the weird plants in that area now.
Yeah, let's try to just get back to the path as opposed to cutting through. We could have the potential to lose a lot more time if we wind up facing a situation like we did before.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys spend a good amount of time and find yourselves more or less where you were when you got separated about, we'll say, 5 hours later.
Okay.
So we lost about half a day.
Yep.
Yeah.
More than that.
Yeah,
well,
almost
really,
like a full
you've lost
day,
an entire
considering
day.
we lost a bunch of stuff last time.
We got some traveling done before we got lost, didn't we?
Not very much.
Well, crap. All right. We've lost a day. Hopefully it won't mean the end of the universe.
It's depressing that it actually could.
The breakdown of time, space, and dimension based on the loss of the social order keeping the entities in line means that we may not have lost nearly as much time as we think.
Or even more time.
He
Yes.
makes a valid point.
All right. Well, let's press on.
No one's better for explaining the worst case scenario than a drow.
7 Owls Wise looks very clammy.
It's the humidity.
Uh-huh.
Did they eat your only flask?
They didn't eat my flask, see? You can see he's fashioned a little cork to plug up the hole.
You run on empty there?
I'm fine, but we should probably get to our destination so we can get back to the ship as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
You guys continue. How do you go about traversing the wilderness?
Well, we're definitely going to watch where we step this time.
Yeah, right. Dallin seems pretty good about with like nature, so maybe he can also take a point of like looking out for things that look particularly dangerous. Or
you want to give me a nature check for Dallin?
Sure.
You hit the red button.
Wow.
Boom!
So just so people are aware, we've recorded 2 episodes together in this session. And in this session, we have had 1, 2, 3, 4...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the fourth.
Fourth nat 20.
4 nat 20s. And we have had about half that. 1, 2...
3 nat 1s.
3 epic fails, nat 1s.
Yes, and Dallin's been...
The important thing is that I'm pretty sure all the nat 20s have been Rob's, except maybe one.
No, I had a nat 20 on a
Even had a nat 20 on the initial initiative.
And 2 of the nat
Rob also
1s
had a
were
nat
me.
1.
Rob did also have one of the nat ones.
That's true.
So Rob
balances
has
out.
literally rolled the dice 5 times, 3 20s, a 1, and then an 18.
And people complain that roll 20 is not fair on the dice roll.
A 1
I mean, nobody here,
shot is
but
a
people
1 in 20
online
shot.
complain that the...
That's amazing.
Yep. Maybe Saturdays are the best days to play.
Maybe so.
Yep.
Anyway,
I don't know. Rob's half asleep, so
Huh? What?
maybe Saturdays are the best.
ouch.
Being half asleep makes you funnier.
Ooh.
All right. Dallin does, in fact, is starting to get a very good lay of the land. And really putting that Feywild mentality forward definitely helps. Like I said, the plants here are not like the plants in the Feywild, other than you in the Feywild, you kind of have to assume that everything's trying to eat you or trick you, and it like puts you in a particular state of mind, which is not a problem for Dalin because he lives there. So there's definitely a lot of times when, and especially because you guys are avoiding these hazards, it's actually kind of hard to tell if you are avoiding a hazard. Like, Dalin will take a weird roundabout way where it looked like you guys could just cross and you guys follow him and nothing happens. But also there's no real way of proving that nothing would have happened.
Right.
So it's hard to tell if at any given point you guys are being unnecessarily cautious or, exactly the right amount of cautious.
I'm going to prefer to be overly cautious rather than being like, there's nothing here. I'm a rogue. Yeah. This is like nature rogue checks.
Perfect paranoia is perfect awareness.
Well, you guys travel for a while, and it starts to get dark, and you guys can see lights sort of over a hill. Looks like a campfire or a bonfire.
I think we found your brethren, Zanam.
Let's make a wide berth.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean...
But not too wide.
No, I mean, shouldn't we camp as close as we can to their camp without being spotted by those spiders? Because they've got the magical fire to keep the forest at bay, and if we're camping in the middle of the forest, we sure do make good bait.
Did we not bring those torches? Or are those torches a one-time use thing?
You guys have 4 hours of torch left, right?
Yep.
Suppose so.
I think we may want to see if we can see exactly who and what is in this camp.
Sure, go for it, Zimmerman.
Little Sparkle?
Sure. You can do some sneaking.
Yep.
Wouldn't the Drow be the best, or one of the best people to go?
No, he's just inviting her along.
Oh,
He's inviting her along.
All right, give me stealth checks.
Got a 39.
37.
Okay.
Good God.
What?
How is your bonus so ridiculous?
Perfect paranoia is perfect awareness.
Okay.
Wow, that is really high, though. That's like, don't you have the armor that gets that its enhancement bonus to your stealth?
I got super sneaky boots, I believe.
Yep, he's got some boots of elven kind and probably stealth. He might have skill specialization.
Yeah, my stealth used to be that high before I lost all my gear.
Yeah.
Hella stealth. It's all right. And I'm at the point now where I'm in the ballpark with you on the stealth roll, so I'm not even going to try and fight. If I had gotten higher than you, I might have crowed a little bit, but I'm not going to because that would be rude. We're being sneaky.
Yeah.
What do we see?
Zanam and Little Sparkle go off, and they can both be mutually impressed by how sneaky the other one is being. All right, you guys approach the camp at a safe distance. There are maybe a dozen drow here. You spot 2 giant spiders walking around the perimeter.
Slightly larger than horses?
Slightly larger than horses. They have 4 of those torches going, as well as the bonfire in the center. I mean, they themselves seem to be pretty on edge, like not nervous, but it's like clearly they recognize that they are in a dangerous place and are just kind of...
Can't sleep, trees will eat me?
Pretty much. I mean, you're pretty sure that, there's probably... or in fact, you maybe even see some people go into the tents to sleep. Like they themselves are sleeping in shifts.
How many are they?
There's probably about 12 of them, all told, with the people sleeping and the people out and about.
Do they seem like they're armory types or wizardy types or just a pack of drow?
Pretty much all of these guys look like rangers.
With 2
like they're all, they're all wearing like light leather armor. They've all got
Orange beards, green eyes.
No.
No.
Do they have the torches set up?
Yep.
Boy, it would be nice if we could steal more torches.
Yeah,
from
exactly. That's what I was thinking. Is there can we tell at all how far that the dark fire extends?
It's explicitly very hard to tell just by looking, but it seems to extend out pretty far. From what you could see last night, the influence that it has on the plants is pretty wide. You would expect that the way that they have this set up, it's probably like double the diameter of their camp, right? So if you think of their camp as a circle, there's you double that circle, and that's about how far the influence extends.
I guess the question is, do we think it would be easier to steal more torches or to just try to camp within effectively their perimeter, but away from our reach?
Well, the part being the operative part,
either would be hard.
Yeah, they would both be pretty hard. So a few things. If they catch you while you're camped, 8 feet away from their camp, you're sitting ducks.
Yeah.
So that's probably the biggest one. The other one is you don't have to steal a lit torch. Chances are somewhere in their camp, they just have more torches.
Sure.
Do we see a box like the crate that we found the 2 in?
Yeah, you actually see lots of crates. That's probably the biggest issue, is that you wouldn't necessarily know which crates they would be in. Lastly, I will point out that to Zanam, these torches are very obvious. To your drow senses, they do put out sort of some amount of light. So
they are bright if you have eyes like this.
Yep. So chances are you guys would actually have to go pretty far away from the camp if you did steal some torches. Otherwise, if you try to split the difference, they might still be able to spot you. And certainly you couldn't light a fire.
All right. So, yeah, I think then let's try to steal some torches.
Okay. We'll have to be very careful.
Yeah, obviously.
No, I mean when we set them up. They're highly visible to certain eyes.
All right. Well, if we steal the torches, then we can
go as far away as we need
exactly.
to. We're going in.
All right. So here's what I want.
Oh, God.
I want you guys to talk amongst yourselves, and basically I need 1 stealth check and 1 thievery check, so you guys can decide who does which one.
I presumably should take the thievery check, since I'm guessing Zanam's doesn't have a plus 26 thievery mod.
Zanam does not have a plus 26 thievery mod, but Zanam does have a plus 34 the stealth mod. So I think,
all right,
I'll stealth it. You steal it.
Sounds good.
It sounds like a plan.
All right, that's pretty good, even though the rolls were pretty low.
I know, our mod is just really
Those
high.
are crappy rolls, but great modifiers, my friends.
Yep.
I'm slowly coming around to Sam's method of gaming. I'm like, man, these number things are good.
Yeah, high level min-max characters can get some high numbers.
Yeah.
Oosh. I'm a min-max everything from now on. I'm going to be a munchkin, baby.
All right. I mean, that's definitely okay when you're playing D&D.
It's
for some reason,
encouraged.
It really is. The system really encourages it. If anybody's making you feel bad for min-maxing your character, don't let them, because the system really encourages you to do it, unless you're min-maxing your character to be like the greatest guy at killing all the bad guys and not letting your friends have any fun.
Right.
But that's not a min-maxing issue. That's a you issue, and you need to work on yourself.
Yeah. Having a specialty is good.
Yeah. Definitely having something you're good at is fun.
Right. Well, I think this may be the first time in Void Saga where I've actually been something other than the big loud guy.
Yeah.
Or maybe the second time in Void Saga. I think Arbalest was...
Yeah, honestly, the good thing about Zanam is that he's both. He's a sneaky guy, and he can still be the big loud guy.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, screw Sakar. I'm Zanam now, baby.
Yeah. All right. So
Who needs fangs?
let me check my difficulty chart.
Okay. He's got a chart, Sam. We're host.
So here's what happens. Zanam, to minimize issues, little Sparkle turns into a little rat, and Zanam rolls into the camp, and then little Sparkle runs over to the box, picks the lock
with her little mouse fingers.
Yeah, with her little mouse fingers. I don't know if technically that's allowed. I think you're literally not allowed to do anything but stealth. I think maybe you're just not allowed to attack. It doesn't matter. Cinematic.
There's a hole in the crate. She just right inside.
Zanam sneaks to the crate, grabs the stuff, but the heat is kind of on. There's somebody coming. You guys don't have really enough time to make it look like you weren't there, but you're able to clear the camp with, we'll say, a good 12 hours worth of torch.
Right.
Nice. Added to the 4 we have, that's 2 nights, isn't it?
Yep.
They will know that we've been here.
But they will know that you've been there. Maybe not right away, but eventually they're going to figure it out.
All right, well, let's try to put some distance between us and them, and then camp.
We leap away. Are you staying in mouse form?
I will for now.
Okay. How fast are you in mouse form?
I have no idea.
I think you have the same speed.
Okay. So pretty fast.
So really freaking fast.
Yeah, and she's a black rat, but she's kind of got like a oil slick sheen to her fur that makes it look a little bit like green in certain spots.
I just wanted to make sure there wasn't any need for me to actually try and give you a boost or anything.
No, thank you.
Yeah, cool. So a mouse and a blue guy run through the forest.
Yep. You guys make it back to the... What have you guys been doing in the meantime?
Standing around.
Playing Mumbledy.
Being very tense.
Yep, looking very tense. Jumping at everything that makes a sound.
Okay. Well, then you guys have probably been doing a lot of jumping.
Yeah.
But Zanam comes out of the foliage. He's carrying a bunch of oil bottles and some torch stands.
Yeah, more good. Then. All right.
Then, little Sparkle in rat form comes out as well.
Yeah. There's roughly a dozen of them with 2 hunter spiders.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if we could get some distance, these will at least allow us to camp safely.
Sounds like a good a plan as any.
Let's go this way.
Can we continue down the path that we have been going to get away from them rather than trying to slide off the beaten path? Or is that...
No, you have to. Basically, there is no beaten path, but specifically the path that Littleron gives you cuts right up to the drow camps.
Right.
So no matter what, you have to go into the weeds to get around the camp and continue on your path. Otherwise, you are literally just climbing up the mountain.
Well, we follow Dallin then.
Okay.
Pick the side that looks less carnivorous.
I'll say that you guys managed to go wide enough that you avoid the being spotted and the spider patrols, because the spiders aren't trying to find intruders. They're just they're actually just trying to prevent anything from entering the camp. So they're not going out in a very wide perimeter. So you guys are able to go around the drow camp and put some distance up the mountain a little bit. And why don't you give me a nature check to find if to see what type of campground you guys managed to find.
I assume that's going to be on me again.
It sounds like it, yeah. You got the best nature.
37.
Okay. That's pretty good. You are able to find kind of a rocky area that's a little bit shielded. Definitely, there is, kind of rocks and trees between you and the drow camp, so you should be able to light up your torches without any issues.
Yeah.
We try and use up the old torches first.
Sure. I mean, like I said, you've got 12 hours worth of torches altogether, so.
Yeah, we don't have to go through and do the thing.
I guess technically you have 14, so, or however you want to manage that.
We had 4 left and we got 12 more. Wouldn't that be 16?
Did you have 4 left?
I thought you said we had 2 with 2 hours each.
Yep. So yeah, that's how much you have then.
Yeah. So we will have 8
This is
hours
like
rest
a resource management game.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right. Well, let's all just try to make them last as long as possible and sleep.
Yeah, and I think we should double up on the things again. So we should have someone who is awake and then someone who is like the thing and the thing. We'll make it work. 2 people is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no matter what, Dalin and Zanum are always aware, so they can still make perception checks.
Okay.
So you can just actually split the shifts between the 3 people that aren't those 2 and always have 3 perception checks.
That's smart.
That works.
There you go.
Okay, so who wants the first shift?
I can go.
Is it already dark out?
Yeah, by the time you guys find a place to camp, it's pretty much time to camp.
I'll take it then.
Okay. Go ahead and give me some perception checks.
I've got a 26.
27.
15.
Wow. That is a lot lower than I expected out of this group.
Yeah, I rolled a 6.
Well, fortunately for you, the torches are doing a really good job, but Little Sparkle is definitely reminded that the torches are doing a very good job when she looks over and sees a vine dart forward and then stop just shy of the edge, the influence zone of the torches.
She'll, try to more wave the torch at it a little bit just to make sure it's menaced properly.
Okay.
Wait, can vines hiss?
Maybe these ones can.
These definitely hiss. All right, who's got next shift?
I can go. Roll a perception.
Mm-hmm.
31.
2 more perception from each of us as well?
Yep.
Okay.
28.
All right.
I did a little better.
Yep. Well, Albert's got this one. After last night, he's pretty up and about and has a good perimeter around camp.
Hyper aware.
Yeah, he doesn't have to worry about that.
Has to hammer him a few plants.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they're still there and they're still threatening, but the torches are keeping them at bay pretty well.
Glad we're back at then. All right. Suppose I'll wake 7.
Yep.
Time for your watch.
Oh, thank you. I'll go over and peer out into the darkness.
Okay. You guys do anything during that shift other than stare tensely into the night?
Prep food so we can eat when everybody wakes up and go.
Okay.
Watch him prep food.
Stare into the darkness.
Don't help, just watch.
And the darkness stares back.
Sharpen my sword.
I mean, it kind of does. There's definitely little glowy eyes in the darkness every once in a while, but nothing decides to approach the camp.
Keep my pointy ears open for the sound of 8 little pattering feet, just in case.
Yeah, not a whole lot, I guess. And then when it's time to rouse everybody, I'll get everyone up. We'll have some food, and then probably head out.
Dalin's cooking, it's probably pretty awesome.
Well, I mean, everything's potato-based, right? So
Tubers.
I like potatoes.
Good. That's some tasty food.
Mm-hmm.
Let's continue. Hope that try to put some distance between the Drow and us before they realize we stole their torches.
Based on how far we've come and how long it's taken us, do we have maybe an estimation of how much further we have to go in terms of time?
You still have a while. It's been really slow going. Like, you guys just completely lost a bunch of time. But even if things are chugging along, it's really slow going. There are no paths. There is, like, you guys are just trekking through wilderness.
That's trying to eat us.
Yeah, and that kind of means, too, that you are it's like no matter what you're doing, you're always probably dragging someone. Like, you can only move as fast as your slowest member. You can only go as far as your least, or as the member with the least stamina can go. You can only, climb so much before the person that's really bad at climbing needs some help climbing, which kind of rules out climbing, because if you have to carry someone up, then that stamina gets cut significantly as well. So, if you guys were all like a party of like super badass rangers, but what with your like mixed skill sets, it's actually kind of hindering you in this situation.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, let's try to get the most of our daylight then.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why doesn't everyone give me a perception check?
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Wow, Sam.
I know, right? Nat 1 on my part. Luckily, Brian.
That's our fifth nat 1
well.
of today's session, by the by.
That's all good.
I got a 30.
Okay.
I got a 31.
40.
I only got 29.
I got a rock.
I think Sam got the rock.
Yeah. So as you are traveling, Little Sparkle hears a noise, just kind of to be sure that there's nothing like immediately coming after them. She like moves a piece of foliage out of the way, and spots what appears to be some sort of canid. Looks like a very scrawny wolf type thing. Again, some of its bones on the outside.
Gross.
And it is, and definitely like its skull is like cuboning it. And
gross.
That is gross.
Poor mother.
It is, but it's not really interested in Little Sparkle, even though it does kind of see her, because it's eating something. It's got something pinned down, and it's like starting to like crack into it.
What is it eating?
It appears to be a spider. Who got the highest perception?
That'd be
Brian.
Brian.
Okay, so Albrecht is pretty much right behind Little Sparkle, and when he peers over, he sees the spider's I want to say abdomen. What's the big bulbous part? The abdomen. Yeah. He notices that what probably appears to Little Sparkle to just be a marking is actually, it looks like a stripe that thickens at the thickest part and then becomes thinner as it moves to the sides. So sort of if you think of the spider's line of symmetry down the middle, this is like a lateral line across its abdomen. So a perpendicular line to its abdomen. And again, what Little Sparkle probably perceives to be a marking, Albrecht realizes it's like a pair of eyelids.
Oh boy.
And he actually sees that, before the spider dies, it like looks over with its weird abdomen eye at you guys.
Boo.
Guys, we should get out of here.
Oh, is this one of those ones where you can see out of the spider's eyes?
It is, isn't it?
You guys describe it to Zanem?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It's a beacon spider.
Let's run then, or run as much as the terrain allows.
That's not great.
Yeah, let's get to moving.
And if there's one, there's likely more.
Well, at least the local fauna took out one of them for us.
I guess. Not soon enough.
You guys start running. What is there like a plan to this, or are you guys just like?
I think we're trying to just put some distance, but like trying to follow the path as much as possible.
Hustle a bit.
So I will say this: if you're trying to put distance between you and the camp that's behind you, but you're following the camp, that means that you are also heading towards a drought camp.
Another camp. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're following the path, like you are increasing the distance away from one and shortening the distance to the next.
Yeah, I think that's okay, considering that the last one is the one that's most likely to be on alert because of the stolen torches. So if we can avoid crashing into the next drow camp, then hopefully they aren't also looking for us.
All right, so you guys hustle through the forest.
It's gonna double time it to get a good distance away.
You guys get a good solid jog in, but nothing seems to come of it immediately.
Well, that's something.
All right, should we start making an alternate path, maybe?
Yeah, are there some ways that we can cut corners on this map without?
Oh, there's lots of ways that you can cut corners.
Deviating too far into.
I think we should keep to the map. Territory. I mean, I know we're making slow progress, but any time we deviate from it, we have the chance of losing a lot of time to hazards.
Sure.
Fair enough.
Unfortunately.
However, if we can, here and there, we may want to see if Dalin's expertise would help us to shorten.
I guess, although this was made by Lileron, who's also an expert.
Who is an actual expert.
Yeah, who that's his whole focus is this island and its plants and animals and keeping his people safe from them. So I tend to trust his expertise. If we see something opportunistically, sure, but I'd rather stick to the plan.
See, right here on the map, there's a point where we can cut across and knock like 7 hours off our trip.
Yeah,
that's true. There is.
You say that, but if once we get there, it turns out that the ground is poison, then we're gonna have to backtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, when you look at Lileron's directions, he didn't spend a lot of time being like, "Beware ye poison bog," because the assumption is this place is all dangerous, including the path itself, as you guys have experienced. So. This is just like
the least deathy.
Yeah, least deathy.
So when you were in the drow camp, what were the drow wearing? Were they just wearing like regular clothes? Were they wearing a uniform? Did they look like they're? I'm sure in that camp they knew each other very well.
Cool leather jackets.
I mean, kinda. They were in fact wearing mostly leather.
Yep.
And they were probably like it was a uniform insofar as they all had the same cut, like it was probably issued to them.
So if Zanam were to wander into this next camp and say he was from another camp, they would pretty much know that he was lying.
So in order for that to work, a lot of things would have to be true, right? Like first off, you would have to. One of the things that would have to be true is he has clothes that match their clothes right off the bat. Second, another thing that would have to be true is these camps don't know each other well enough to recognize when a stranger walks in.
Okay.
Because unlike possibly for Seven Owls when he's inebriated, drow can tell each other apart on sight. So yeah,
I meant like
it would be pretty tough. Especially because, lastly, if you were, walking around even like the demon web, like chances are there are places where Zanam could go and be let in without too much issue if he walks the walk and talks the talk. But here, everybody's on edge. Everybody's like out, for themselves. And lastly, you don't know who that spider that you saw goes to.
Right.
So it's very likely that the moment that they spot probably Little Sparkle, they would know that something's up.
Mm. And of course, there's also the fact that diplomacy for Zanam is crap.
Well, it would be bluff.
It'd be bluff,
so.
yeah.
My bluff is as crap as my diplomacy.
Well, there you go. That is
Yeah.
a problem. Yes.
Bluff and streetwise and diplomacy are all just deadwood for Zanam. I'm not a talker.
Yeah.
And I am, but I don't look like a drow, so.
Exactly.
No magic hats abound, so.
Yep. So I say just stick to the path. Try to, I don't know, be patient, I guess.
If Lolth is involved, there's a chance that she knows who we are.
Sure.
So I'm not entirely sure that I could pass for anything at this point. But I know that we can keep moving.
You guys continue walking, and it is not very long before you guys spot some lookouts.
Mm.
Do they spot us?
Yep. They do not spot you right away. So you guys, do have a chance to kind of like whoever's up front can, like stop and scoot back.
All right. Why don't we? I'll stealth around, or we can both stealth around and see if there's a way around that won't be as obvious.
Okay. You do. I mean, you don't need to roll for it right now, but
Are they
again, I will put this out there. Always a way around. Just it's through the wilderness, right?
Yeah,
it's away from the path. So yes, there is a way around that's not going to get you spotted, but it's off the path. As you move sort of along the path, sneaking around, Zanam and Little Sparkle can see the next camp, which is smaller. So there's probably fewer drow there, but it's definitely more alert and seems to be in the process of like dispatching people to go off into the jungle or into the forest. And certainly you would imagine at least one group is going to go in your direction to meet up. Probably a group from the other side, like the last camp, and they're probably going to like meet up in the middle. So there's a good chance that you've got a group coming up behind you as well.
All right. Well, let's try to put some distance ahead. And that's going to involve going off the path for a bit, but that's probably the better way than getting into conflict with this whole group.
Maybe our only option. And they are all drow, even the lookouts are.
Yeah. You do spot some hunter spiders as well.
About how many drow are they?
Here in the camp, you would imagine that there's probably going to be about 5 of them left once they dispatch everyone. They've got groups of 3 going into the forest in 3 separate directions. So altogether, what's that? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So about 14 of them, plus the 2 lookouts that you passed. But here pretty quickly, this camp is going to be reduced to only about, 5 or 6 of them. Plus the spiders, because the spiders just seem to be on like a permanent guard duty.
I mean, we could wait until they scatter and then just take the camp.
We could kill them.
To what point?
Well, just being a little bit safer in terms of not confronting all of them at once.
Us.
Yeah, exactly.
Fewer people to attack us from behind.
You could also potentially try to ambush one of the groups that's out looking for you. But then you'd have a group that doesn't report back. Adding to the issues.
I think we can. Yeah, I think Sam's got the right idea of take the camp, because then we can ambush the
others as they come back.
Especially if they come back in 3s. We need to take down the entire Church of Lolth. I think that these should be a fine start.
3 at a time certainly seems better than 5 at a time, but they also...
Well, yeah, the 3 at a time, though, we run the risk of having to deal with whatever it is they're going into, like the forest. This way we get to stay to the path, and now we'll have to deal with the spiders, too, but still, we get to have something of even ground.
We take the camp, we set a trap when they return.
So, Is there an innate ability with Drow to control those spiders? Or are they like just wild animals?
They're trained animals.
Yeah.
And Zanam can fill this in.
They're attack spiders.
Yeah.
Exotic animals.
But would he have the ability to control them?
I mean, Zanam can probably guess at, like, he would have the same ability to control them as you would to control a Rottweiler that's coming after you. Like, maybe you can be like, sit, like, authoritatively enough that particular Rottweiler would be like, oh, whoa, hang on, am I not supposed to be killing you? But if there is the Rottweiler's, I don't know, evil owner there to reinforce, like, no, you should go kill him, Fido.
It's not going to help.
It's going to be, it might buy you a round in combat. In order to do that, it would probably be a nature check. And it would probably have to be a pretty decent nature check. It's the sort of thing that if you wanted to risk a standard action to do a nature check to stun a spider for a turn, I would allow it. But
it's not
a lot of the time you're
friend.
better off. Yeah, a lot of the time you're better off just attacking it or doing something else.
I wouldn't be able to just psychically control the spider or
right.
Tell it to heal.
Yeah,
I could try.
These spiders are kind of furry, so you can scratch their.
Oh yeah, just scratch them under their belly, and then they'll roll over.
Yeah,
and when they roll over, that's when you stab them to death.
Who wants scratches in your little cephalothorax?
Gross.
And they have eight little tongues that wag out when they pant.
That's not quite how that works.
Under their 16 horrible black eyes.
You set a biscuit on its chelicerae.
Oh man. Yeah, you like being stitched right under the mandibles, don't you? Oh.
Yeah.
Stay. Yeah. And if you scratch just in the right place, all the legs on its left side shake.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys are going to take the camp.
Yep.
We are going to take the camp.
Yeah.
Well,
positive thinking. Okay, you want to talk to me about strategy? Because you got to get close enough to the camp to take it.
Sneaky guys flank.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the spiders are going to be alerted first, so... I mean, as soon as the spiders are alerted, then it's all over. I mean, then it's just like you're going to have to all go in.
Well, yeah, but I think we can try to get around the camp so that we can prevent them from running away, and put them in like kind of a pincer format. So like the stealthy guys are ready to go when the slower guys approach.
Mm-hmm.
If we split in two and attack the spiders first, we could take the spiders out, and then that would certainly alert the drow, but it would also give us a chance to take out the biggest threat, and then hopefully they'd be on their back foot when we cut their heads off.
Well, there are hunter-killer spiders, not like the monitor spiders, right?
No, I meant the heads off the drow.
Sure, yeah. I just want to make sure that there weren't basically specific, like there wasn't a bigger reason why we needed to target the spiders first.
I believe they are hunter killers. Are they not hunters, Rodrigo?
Yeah, they're hunters, but if your concern is like, will they somehow
alert the scout teams?
Alert the people in the camp.
Yeah.
Not psychically or magically, but these are big monster fantasy spiders, so they probably screech or something when they attack.
Yeah,
sure.
Zanam knows that they do make noise when they fight, and also these aren't they're not these spiders are about jumping in and killing. So the ground. They're going to make a big thud on the ground, and they're going to shake up all the vegetation. So if this spider sees you coming, or you don't kill it in one hit, which, let's face it, what gets killed in one hit at epic level, then the camp's going to be alerted. So if you're going after the spiders, then you need a plan to take out the spiders that doesn't involve fighting, because that's what they do best, is fight.
Does Dallin have any sleep spells or... incapacitate spells or rain fire from above spells?
No.
I mean, I tried to get him drunk, but I obviously have no alcohol, so Rodrigo is taking that out of mine.
Are there small animals around? Maybe we could try to like distract one with food.
I mean, yes, but even the small animals are very aggressive.
Oh, sure. So that would be its own thing.
So you'd have to deal with that first?
Sure.
I mean, I can attempt to take one over, but that's
what?
Yeah, the Shadowed Psyche spell.
Oh.
So you could control the
that's
spider?
a touch spell.
Oh, yeah, that seems dubious. All right, well, let's just try to take the camp quickly. I mean, that the noise will alert the other Drow in this camp, and possibly some of the ones. Like, we can wait a little bit after the Drow split up to try to put some distance between them so they can't get back immediately to assist while we take the camp, and then we can take the camp and hopefully have like a little breather before the smallest squads start coming back, and then deal with them when they show up.
I mean, we could just literally sneak in and kill the Drow. If there's only 2 of those spiders, we can go around to some other side, kill 1 or 2 of the Drow, and then by the time the spiders attack, it's not going to matter.
Yeah, I mean, we can basically just wait at the periphery until we hear the screaming and rush in while the sneaky people try to take a few out.
Yeah, sure. That's fine by me.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
I mean,
we have a strategy.
Who are the stealthy people? I've got a stealth of 23.
It's Zanam and Sparkle.
Well, I mean...
Oh, 23 is actually not bad at all. So,
yeah, 23 is actually quite good.
So one of the 3 of us, and then...
If you want to sneak around, sure.
Albrecht and Dallin stay up front.
All right. Let me get some stealth checks. At this point, mostly I'm just hunting for botches.
Yes.
Sam got a 40. I got a 38. Matthew got a 41. So
that's very good.
Much clustered together.
We're moving together. It's good to be all the same level.
You guys will probably be able to position yourselves pretty well, so no issues there. But it looks to me like we're going into a fight, and I do not have stuff
we
together.
are going to have to save that for another episode of Critical Hits. Thank you, everyone, for... we're crouched down, ready to strike.
Sorry for messing with your plans.
The narrator box pops up.
It's all good. I just don't have all the necessary information in front of me. So I was going to say it's going to take me a while to get all this stuff together. But ending the episode also good.
Yeah. Yes. So the little narrator box comes up and says, "Will they be successful in surprising the enemy? Find out next time on Critical Hit." And you will have to find out next time, because that's how we roll here at Critical Hit. And speaking of rolls, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2019 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.